Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and most of you by now will know how much I love my Eastman SB59, and most of you will probably know how much I love Peter Green as well. And I've been looking at this guitar and sort of thinking there's a Peter Green vibe to this thing, and I've been wanting to change the pickups, and I've been looking at like the Monty's Peter Green, Bethnal Greens I think they're called, bare knuckle as well, do some that people seem to like, and various others. And to be quite honest, the price of them, whilst I'm sure is worth it, I can't afford £400 for a set of pickups. It's just, you know, I do some pretty crazy things, but I'd be really pushing the boat out. But I figured these come stock with Seymour Duncan 59s, and that is going to be surely a pretty good starting place to modify the neck pickup. So that is what we're doing today. I'm going to take this apart. I'm going to do it all at home. I'm going to show you how that's all done, and then we'll compare the sounds to how they are before and after. So let's get to that. We'll get all that. I will timestamp this video because it'll be sort of, you know, I'll show you the modifications itself. And then we'll come back and I'll share my thoughts on how I think this has gone. So, as you can see, I'm doing this at home on the floor rather than my workbench, which is always... well, I don't really like doing that, to be fair. I like to be at my bench, but this seems, as I say, I've never done this mod before, but it seems like a reasonably sort of straightforward thing to do, to be fair. The only unknown at this point, if I lower this down so you can see what I'm doing, the only unknown at this point really is how much wax is going to be underneath this pickup cover. It might be that it comes off really easily. It might be that there's so much wax that even after I unsolder it, you know, it'll be stuck together. So we'll see. We'll come to you know, cross that bridge when we come to it. So I was gonna try and reuse these strings because they're not that old, but I'm not sure I'm gonna have the clearance. I guess we'll just go for it and see what happens. So let's get this get the pickup screws out first. Tiny little screw heads on the pickup rings. You always want to make sure you're using the exact right size screwdriver, because even slightly out, the chances of you rounding things off are like 10 times higher. So just take a bit of patience to swap the bit over rather than just using the one that sort of fits. And at this point, I do think I'm going to have to sacrifice these strings. It'll just make the whole... Well, to be fair, maybe not. How much space do we have on the wire? So we've got plenty of space, which is nice. So now it's going to be a good idea to start padding some things over the top of this. And I will turn on my soldering stuff as well. Why is that not working? Right, so that's that. Make sure that's not on. Good. Okay. So that will start powering up now. My soldering iron is ready to get these off. So let's remove the pickups from their pickup rings. So there we go, that's how quick it is to get to a neck pickup on a Les Paul. So, just double check, these are Seymour Duncan pickups, because up to now, I've just took Eastman's word for it, but we're alright. So, what I need to do now, before I go any further, is unscrew all these pole pieces, but not all the way. You just want to loosen them all off, so I'm going to have to change the bit in that. So this is how I've sort of seen it done. You just unscrew all the pole pieces. Hang on, put the wrong bit on there. About halfway, so they say. To remember where they all are. They're all pretty flat, so use that as a guide. In fact, no, I'll wait until I've got the pickup off and then do that. That's what I think I'll do, because that'll give me a better guide as to where exactly they're set. It's the trouble when you're doing this in real time and filming, you can get a bit sort of carried away. I am going to try and cover this up a bit more because I will be messing around with a hot soldering iron near all of this stuff, so the better covered it is, the better. So I've got 4 screws under here that I need to undo. Sorry if you can't see a lot of that, but basically got 4 screws. Most humbuckers will have 4 screws under here. They need to undo partially, as well as the 6 pole pieces. But first, I think I'm going to see where my soldering iron's at. Seems pretty hot. Where's all my solder gone? And then I'm just going to unsolder the pickup covers and see how much wax we've got holding them on. Because like I said, that's the only kind of variable at this point, is I don't really know how much that actually is. So let's have a look. So there we go, I just got the covers off. The only sort of real dent that I put in was a little bit just on the top there, which is less than ideal, but there was a lot of wax holding these things on. More than I kind of expected, to be fair. But here we are. Let's get rid of some of it because I'm just not feeling the need for that much wax, to be quite honest. There we go, let's get rid of some of that. So now we're on to the unscrewing of the pole pieces and stuff like that. So I've been watching the videos on how to do this, and people have been winding them up to sort of about half each. So that is what I'm going to do now. So let's do that. Easier if I had a power tool with me, but there we go. And they're all pretty flat to the pickup, so I know where I'm going sort of back to. So that should be enough on the pole pieces. Hopefully you can see all the pole pieces, about halfway up. That was all guesswork, and they're all pretty much halfway out of there. So that I might have to undo them a little bit more, but we'll see. Now it's time for these 4 screws here underneath. I'm not sure if you can see, but the little brass ones you can see there. Time to get those out, about the same. Right, so they're about halfway through. Let's have a look at that. I'm guessing the magnet's going to be under the tape, underneath all this wax. Right, so the magnet I can see on my side. Let's try and let you have a look at it, if I can. So the magnet is here, look. You see that just sticking out, that flat thing there? That is the bar magnet we need to rotate 180 degrees. Let's set you back down so hopefully you can see. Whoops, wrong way. Oh, there we go. So now I'm going to fish this magnet out. Don't know if I can do it from this side. I'm hoping I can, under the tape perhaps. I've got to be careful because I know there's going to be wires there that I don't obviously want to push through by accident. I've got the pickup quite warm, by the way, as well, just to make it easier for it to slide through the wax. So I can't quite see it at the moment. The lighting's not the best. And like I said, I know I've got wires and stuff that I'm making sure I'm not cutting through. So let's try and push that. There we go. So if I push this, hopefully you can see this, because I'm more concentrating on the job than I am making the film at this point. Right, can you see that magnet coming out of there? It's like it's giving birth. Right, now I'm just going to concentrate and not talk for a sec, because I rotate it 360 degrees by accident, and this thing will be pointless. So that's out. That's how it came out. Rotating 180 degrees. And I'm going to push that back in like that. Lovely jubbly. Right, now I'm going to tighten everything down, resolder the backs, and then I think you'll join me for the sound comparison, I suppose. So that was... Let's just quickly sum up whilst I'm on the job, because like I said, never done that before. Doing a tiny bit of damage to the pickup cover underneath. It'll be fine from the front, you won't see it. But these pickups were really super wax potted, so I'm going to guess that depending on how potted your pickups are to begin with, is going to dictate how difficult this job is. you know, I got it nice and hot with a soldering iron, so that would have helped. But I would say this is definitely something most people could do. And the fact that I've done it on my floor at home, you know, it's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to get this all back together. I think I'm going to change these strings just because why not? And actually I won't, because I've already re-recorded the sound comparison, and the strings, I don't really want them to come into it. So I'll leave the strings on, put it all back together, and like I said, we'll do the sound comparisons. So it's about 15 minutes later and we are all back together. I did break a string, so I just wanted to tell you that in the comparisons, the first you will hear is the older strings, although they were quite new, and the after will be these new strings, same gauge and everything, but I just thought I'd let you know. But given what we've done, I don't think a slightly fresher set of strings is really going to matter too much. So what I've also done is install this the other way round. Now, I haven't done this for anything to do with the Peter Green mod, sound-wise sort of thing. It shouldn't make too much difference. I've just done it for the visual thing, that's kind of how Peter Green's was, so I kind of wanted to do it. And just by the way as well, this magnet flip we've done, there's no reason why you shouldn't get the exact same result if you did the magnet flip in the bridge. If that's what you wanted to do for whatever reason, I've just done it in the neck. And after doing that, I can absolutely sort of find legs in the legend that originally on Peter Green's it was done accidentally. I can see for sure how you would accidentally put one of those magnets in, you know, the other way around. It's not like they're color coded or got markers. I can definitely see how it would have accidentally been done. So I'm yet to plug this in. So I'm going to do that now, and then assuming it all works, we will carry on with the comparison. So guys, there we go. What did you think? Like I said, that's just the first sort of, as I was playing it and just bouncing a few Peter Green riffs to compare. And me personally, I'm well happy. I think if I'd have bought those that sounded like that, I'd have been like, sweet, money well spent. But it was free. It was just, you know, it was already in the guitar. Loads of people know about this mod. I knew about this mod before. I'd never done the mod before. I'd never had someone ask me to do the mod before. But, you know, if you want to give it a go, if you're after a Peter Green sound and you've already got a nice set of pickups, absolutely go for it. And let me just show you the things that you'll need to do it. So, first thing you'll need, decent screwdriver set. Make sure you've got plenty of bits to find the exact size screws that you'll have. Obviously, you'll need a soldering iron as well. That will help, and specifically one that goes very hot. I think this is a 40 watt soldering iron, and it just got hot enough. Yeah, it's a 40 watt. So yeah, you'll need something with a good bit of power, because those, well, it depends how well your pickups soldered on, but mine was pretty well on there. And then you'll need, I would use a little Allen key. Where's the camera? I would use a little Allen key, just something to slide the magnet out. Be very careful when you're doing that. If it's going to go wrong, that's probably the point. It could go wrong if you went through the wire in the pickup or you destroyed the pickup. Get the pickup nice and warm, which you'll do in the process of unsoldering it. But it's pretty straightforward, and hopefully it came across on the video sort of just how straightforward it is. The other thing you'll probably want is some solder as well. I only ever use leaded solder just to get the heat going through it. But if I grab the guitar, like, I'm well happy, and I would love to know what you guys think. You know, was it a brave and silly move doing this to my Eastman, or not? What do you reckon? For me, I know I'm going to be chasing that, you know, that Peter Green ambition, shall we say, even more now, because I love this guitar. You've seen it, I don't know how many times over the last 18 months or so, and I just can't wait to play it. So that's what I'm going to do now. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon on the next video.